Can you hear
Yeah,
us?
I know.
Yeah, good. Thanks.
I
Good.
can hear
Right, nice. And we got visibility. Nice. Let me just figure out some tabs and stuff. I'm going to make your face
you.
slightly bigger. Oh, how do we do that? While I fiddle with this, let me introduce you to the gang. Gang, hang on. There's the gang.
Hi.
There's some students over there and some students over there. Should we make a noise of some sort?
Yeah, wait. Noise. What?
They're just trying to smell. Not very good at saying hello. We try and verbally say hello. There you go. Like I said, a lot of germs in the house today, so we're all feeling a bit apathetic, but it's all good. Could you introduce yourself to us, please?
Sure. I'm Owen Davey. I'm a freelance illustrator, working out of Leicester in the UK. Sorry, really?
Okay, lovely. So what's Leicester like today?
Well, it was snowing about 10 minutes ago, but now it's just a bit crap in general.
Okay. Is that a general thing for
Not
Leicester?
particularly exciting. Not a reflection of Leicester in general, just the weather today.
Right, okay.
No, I like Leicester. It's cool.
Okay, is anyone here from
You get to
Leicester?
have that.
We've got a few people from generally that region. Yeah?
Or like Loughborough.
Yeah, we've got some of the Loughborough Massive, yeah. Can you tell us where else you are, apart from Leicester? Tell us about the space you're in.
I'm in my studio, which is in town in Leicester. I've got a studio at home as well, it's not really a studio now, it's just a desk in my front room so I can be sociable and work. But I worked at home for about 5 years, I suppose, and got a bit lonely, especially when I moved to Leicester because I didn't know anyone other than my girlfriend. So she'd go out to work, and then when she got back, I'd be like a little dog, just like, hi, talk to me, be my friend.
Yeah.
So I decided to get a studio in town. So it's like 7 or 8 different kind of, there's like one person, there's like 3 or 4 people in it, but and I've got my own room. I sit in my day alone, but then go and speak to people when I get bored.
Yeah, nice. So is that your typical working pattern for a day then? Is you spend a lot of the time in that room on your own and then seek feedback and conversation when you need it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll send through an email to people across the way. There's not many illustrators here, but there's a couple in one room, so I go and show them my stuff because they kind of understand it a bit more. But I'm mainly kind of sitting alone, chilling out, but it's nice to get a bit of that sociability in occasionally.
Okay.
I wish there was more, but anyway, I prefer to be in a room with lots of other people and just use my headphones if I need to zone out, but it's fine.
Yeah, sure. Have you got any treasures or artifacts you could show us?
Yeah, I have a bunch. You asked me for a few, but I didn't really know what to show, so I just grabbed various things from my room. This is a bunch of different, they're like symphony kind of things, but I just really love the colours. I don't read music like that. I literally just love these colours, and I bought a bunch of them online because I like the pattern, the colours and stuff, and use them as reference. Guys that I helped design, which are really fun. I've got the only what they called that I bought because of the post because I like vaping and I like the trees and stuff that are wicked. Yeah.
Nice. So what is it again? So the quality's gone a bit weird, Owen. Like it's all glitchy. Was that a fabric print?
Yeah, it's an apron.
Ah, right, nice. And did you say it's because you like aprons?
I like baking.
Ah, baking. I thought you said raving. I was thinking.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I could go raising aprons.
Right, yeah. That'd be a good look.
No, I just thought I'd show you some of the stuff I've got sent. I get a bunch of stuff sent through in the post because I end up sending a lot of illustration stuff. I've got some massive prints from Bjorn and Lee and one from Lotte Niemann.
Right,
That I got sent through today as well.
And are these like sort of art swaps type things? Like, are you sending stuff off in return?
No, I did that with some of the other people. I don't like to kind of contact people saying, do you want to swap in case they don't like my work and feel obliged. But the guy called Jadal, who I did that with recently, he was like, oh, I love your work, let's just swap. So it's quite fun to do. I don't think someone likes my work. But,
yeah, you don't force it on people.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask you just a little bit, can you tell us a little bit about your journey? How have you got to where you are now from when you were like doing your A-levels or something?
A-levels I was in Brighton and I was doing graphics and art, fine art, and kind of liked both of them to a certain degree, but didn't quite, there were certain bits I didn't like about either of them, and then I found out what illustration was. And went and did a foundation year, Bright City College, I'm from Brighton originally.
Cool.
Did that for a year. Illustration was kind of one of the things they tried out and loved it. So asked about what the best uni to go to for illustration at the time, and there's just things Camberwell and like Deep Hole or whatever, and found that the only one was more free, a bit more outdoorsy. Been going to Cornwall for years. So I went and found 3 course illustrations, and then finished that, and I've been working freelance ever since, about 6 years ago, I think.
6 years since you graduated?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Right, wow. And since you left university then, I mean, what would you think have been like the most effective things for the development of your career since you left uni?
To be honest, just working really hard. So the first kind of, basically year, the amount of stuff I've got through kind of doubled. Because I've done work for clients, they've liked what I've done, and they've come back. But the first year I didn't have any clients really. I did a few pieces I think I just did one piece actually, because I did a children's book, which all things by just kind of contacting people or by luck or whatever. And then a year I kind of had a few clients, and then the second year I had a few more, and now people are coming to me rather than trying to contact them.
Yeah,
so.
That's great. And you've got an agent as well, is that right?
Yeah, they were wicked actually. When I left uni, I looked at a bunch of different agents. There's like 6 or 7 that I went and did. And really nicely, they were all up from the portfolio, were some of the only ones that gave me kind of constructive criticism about my work. And they were different people, not just like cool illustrators. There was like, people in the business for like 4 years and do stuff that I absolutely hate, but I can appreciate, and then people that just come out of uni. So I liked their style, so I went with them. They're wicked.
Great stuff. So can we talk a little bit about the actual work you make?
Yeah, sure.
If we look at your website, I'm just going to minimise you a little bit. Is there something on this site that you feel at the moment really like epitomises what your practice is about?
Basically, most of the stuff at the top.
Okay.
My website isn't necessarily a sort of timeline thing, but the closer you get to the bottom, the kind of older some of the work gets. I suppose the first 2. So the Man About Monkeys is something I've been working on with the guys at Flying High book, which is wicked. I kind of got a sort of slightly more editorial style, and then a style that's a little bit more realistic, I suppose. So the Man About Monkeys one is, obviously it's not completely realistic, but it's got it's firmly grounded in reality, whereas it's, a completely been or like how the laws of physics work or whatever, just for my own visual gratification.
So this is going to be a picture book for kids about monkeys, is that right?
Yeah, I can't I'll show you my screen and show you something that I'm doing for it, because I'm not allowed to release it yet.
Okay,
I
cool,
can
fair
show you
enough.
guys a preview of things. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
How do I? Oh, hang on. How do I share my screen?
Oh, we're going to do a bit of screen share, eh? Okay, that sounds good.
Share screen. You should be able to see your own face, alright?
Yeah, it looks like something's coming through. Can I also ask, Owen, are you talking to us through your headphone speaker?
Yes, it's not quite.
Could you just try it with the computer itself?
Yeah?
If that's okay, because I just think the quality might be a bit better.
And
Can you say something about monkeys?
something what?
About monkeys?
Monkeys are cool.
Does that sound better? Yeah, that sounds better, yeah.
Okay, cool. If you just go around, yeah, the internet in this place is absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, it's alright, it's fine. We can hear you, it's all good.
Okay.
So we were going for a screen share.
Yeah, can you not see it?
No, I'm not getting sent. Oh, hang on, I can see your screen. Yeah, okay, right. It's like being in the Matrix. This is horrible. Okay, so I'm stepping out of the way. Now we go.
What was I done with it? I had it a second ago. Right there. Oh, no. Okay, step up. See that?
Yeah, lovely.
That's trying to kind of be a bit nuts and stuff. Trying to kind of put as many monkeys as I could on the front cover. These are the 10 pages showing a bunch more monkeys that are in the site.
Have you had to do some primary research for this? Have you been to the zoo?
Yeah, the zoo was the one place I didn't go, and I don't really understand how it happened. I did loads and loads of research, the kind of mental side of stuff.
Yeah.
I read papers about things. I did loads of books, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I never actually went and doing them in real life. It was a bit of a failure on my part, really, but I just didn't have the time in the end.
Yeah.
But the research side of stuff was an absolute nightmare. We were chatting earlier about you feel your book,
Yeah.
when going into specifics about stuff, it's an absolute nightmare. This book, in the text, I've written that must be a wide variety of foods, including crabs, frogs, lizards, etc. But when I actually came to draw it, I then realised that I needed to know exactly what crabs, what frogs, what lizards. So I spent hours and hours trying to find out what crabs they had. That's a blue swimmer crab in the site. But that was a nightmare to try and find out all that stuff.
Yeah, but more satisfying, I suppose, in the end when you arrive at stuff that is grounded in real information.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, as it's a non-fiction book, I didn't want to just randomly choose something that was going to be wrong. I wanted this to be as accurate as I could possibly make it. We actually chatted to a guy who worked in the Natural History Museum and kind of double checked on the facts and stuff. And the book got all the Latin names for the monkeys and where they're found in the world and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I tried to include as many monkeys as I could. I can't remember how many there are in the end, but I think there was something like 43 New World monkeys and 43 Old World monkeys in the book. I just wanted to cover as many as I could.
That's amazing. Did you just say Old World monkeys and New World monkeys?
Yeah.
Can you explain that, or do I need to read the book?
So an Old World monkey is the Asia, and the New World monkey is in South America.
Right. Okay.
So they've got quite a lot of differences in terms of faces. Actually, I can show you. So this page is all about the New World monkey. The bottom left, a New World monkey, and the guy on the right, an Old World monkey. And New World monkeys are very short at snouts with nostrils that point outwards, and older monkeys have got longer noses that are a bit more like humans, where the nostrils come down.
Good monkey nose, yeah.
Yeah, and the difference is like older monkeys have got little feeding pads, like little kind of palms almost on their bums.
Yeah.
And newer monkeys have got three-headed tails, which means they can use them like arms and stuff.
Right.
So I'm just chatting about monkeys.
Yeah, that's good. It's like, I didn't expect to be learning about monkeys, but that's good knowledge. I'll take that home and write it down.
Yeah.
Can I ask you then, if we just go back, because we really need to talk about this lovely artwork of yours. Was there a starting point for where you're now at as an image maker? Was there a starting point where you began to work in the way that you work?
Yeah, well, it's kind of progressed as I've gone on. I realised, sorry, you're still looking at my screen, aren't you? I was following the next interesting bit. Yeah, like years ago, I've been using Photoshop for like 10 years, and yeah, I use Photoshop now rather than Illustrator, and everyone kind of laughs at me for it. Hang on, let me stop screen sharing.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to your website.
What was I saying? Yeah, I've been using both smaller guys at multiply tools and Alt Clipper and like scans of things like printing texture or whatever. And when I started using them, I was a bit of a different turn, and I could create stuff digitally, but with this kind of bit of a retro like to it, which appealed to me. Because I like working digitally. You can constantly move stuff about, and constantly change colours and all that jazz. But I don't like stuff looking too slick. I don't know, it just loses some of its excitement. And then, as I've kind of gone on, basically clients kept telling me to make stuff a bit brighter, a little bit more colourful, so kind of my work's become a bit more like that. So.
Okay. I'm really sorry, Owen. The internet is breaking up a little bit, so we keep hearing bits and pieces. But I don't know. I think we should just press on because I don't know what else we can do at this point.
Okay.
Let's just keep going because I've certainly got the gist of it.
Sounds good when we turn video off.
Yeah,
turn the video off.
If there's anything important,
okay. Well, yeah. Well, it's been suggested that if we turn the video off and we just talk,
yeah, that works for me.
Then that might work better. So let's try that. How can?
Better?
We can still hear you. Let's press on and see how that goes.
I'm just from home. Sorry, my internet at home is great. It's terrible here.
It's fine, mate. It's fine. This is good. This is nice. We can really. I mean, although it seems like you have a lovely beard and a full head of hair. Now we've been introduced, we can crack on. We're just discussing the work. So, can I ask you, in terms of in the simplest of terms, how do you make your artwork?
Just a Photoshop. So I'll sketch stuff out, usually tiny little thumbnails that are all therefore is my own kind of preference. They'll do kind of concept, they'll show the concept and the composition. That's kind of it. All tiny little crackers thumbnails, and then from there I'll usually just take that straight into Photoshop and use that as a basis to then actually start putting the artwork. But and just because, I don't know, a lot when I draw everything out straight off, sometimes it can get a bit laboured and not very kind of organic feeling. So sometimes when I take it kind of in just from a little tiny thumbnail, it just keeps it a bit freer and keeps it a bit more fun.
So what are the?
Sorry.
I was going to say, what are the benefits of your thumbs? Like, what do you inherit from them? Is it just about composition?
Yeah, composition. It's composition and idea, really. Like for me, it takes me just as much time to do an idea as it does to actually do the final image. Like I've been drawing, all my life. I'm 27 now. If I want to draw something, I can do it. But the ideas are still the things that, if you've got a rubbish idea, it doesn't matter how good you render it, it's still going to be a rubbish idea. So I like to spend a lot of time getting that sorted, and then the final artwork doesn't take me as long. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, beyond drawing, is there anything else you do to help you develop your ideas?
Oh, I do crap loads of research. I do a load of visual research. I want to understand the subjects as much as I can before I kind of get into it. If I'm doing something about that's vaguely Egyptian related, then I will research what shape an Egyptian vase is, what people from that era were wearing, and try and be as accurate as I can.
Yeah, I think that really comes across in the worlds that you build.
Right. What's that?
I should say it really comes across in the way you build your worlds. They seem kind of effortless and believable, but still with that kind of graphic aesthetic that I guess is so appropriate.
Yeah, thanks.
I wanted to know about shape. Clearly you believe in shape as a means to drive your image forwards.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so effective?
Well, for me, the interesting with illustration is not is the whole representation side of it. So I used to do a load of realistic pencil drawings, and I did loads of painting and got quite good at kind of acrylics, doing visual representation where it was pretty much trying to make it look like real life. But the exciting thing came to when I started to design what I was doing instead. So if I was drawing a person and the angle from their shoulder to their arms was kind of vaguely circular, rather than kind of keep it vaguely circular, I'd make it circular. Or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I think it's really fun, the kind of simplification and stuff down, understanding that a square with a triangle on top will look like a house, even though it looks nothing like a house. So all that kind of stuff I find really interesting, and that's where shape and geometry and all that kind of stuff comes into play, and I find it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's that translation that you're able to achieve in your work that makes it so endearing. That you can read the work as real worlds, but then also that there's that the translation, I suppose, that you've generated, that makes it so effective.
I think with any illustrator, it gives you an insight into kind of how their brain works, or what kind of goes on in their heads. Most illustrators, you'll see something about their work that will kind of crop up a lot, and whether it's the way they draw trees or certain colour palettes or whatever, they're not derived from the subject matter so much, but they're more from their own head. So it's like a combo of what they're actually illustrating is combined with kind of what's going on in themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want to know, what is it you're trying to achieve? I mean, how would you want your work to be perceived by an audience?
To be perfectly honest, I don't really worry too much about that. I'm constantly trying to play with my own work and create stuff that excites me. And I'll probably only like it for a couple of weeks before I then look back at it and think, oh, I wish I'd done it differently. But I don't know, it's just playing, really, having a bit of fun. Colour's a massive thing for me, playing around with colour and trying to convey certain things with colours.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're just looking at this, the Bear Tavern and the Garden Bar pieces.
Yeah.
And it strikes me, that Bear Tavern piece is lovely and like so minimal, and I guess it's that point where you're stepping into graphic design.
Okay.
Do you like spend time analysing and studying graphic design as much as illustration?
Yeah, I look at all design in general. I'm just a massive fan of nicely designed things that are fit for purpose but still kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
So graphic design, I realised early on that a lot of clients want you to do the type as well, because otherwise they've got to pay someone else to do it. And rather than just shovel on some exams or whatever, I wanted to try and understand. And I'm by no means a typographer, and I'm sure I'm designed to look at my code and letting and cry, but as they're kind of part of the illustrations, I don't think it matters as much as some of the other bits. But yeah, just trying to create a whole piece so that it all feels cohesive. Like, if you look at the two dots piece that's like down from that and a few right.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, that's simple text, but then I've kind of integrated that in. And if someone else has done a text, then it might just sort of sat plonked on whatever. And,
Yeah.
I don't know, it just helps all tie it all together a bit, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really nice. Can you tell us a bit about your experience of progress then? What advice would you give yourself, your younger self, if you were talking to Owen Davey in his first year? What would you say to him about things to worry about, things to do, things not to do?
Yeah, it's a hard one. That basically, I think, yeah, that's one of the questions. I wasn't sure.
Sorry, man.
It's not. It's basically, I think I did it right. So it's kind of hard to kind of go back and just do what you're doing. But I worked really hard at uni. Like I was saying to you earlier, I'm a massive nerd and always have been. When I was at college, I won awards for attendance and things like that, which is incredibly nerdy, and I'm not even that proud of it, but just I've always had a really strong work ethic because I don't know, I enjoy doing what I do, so why shouldn't I work, you know? And I did that right uni and worked really hard, and you know, they set us a brief to do, you know, one final image for a week's time or whatever, and I'd come back with 4 because I was enjoying it and I thought there was more to go further.
Yeah.
And stuff like that I think just made me more proactive and made me better at what I do.
Yeah. Interestingly, there's a sense at this point in your career at 27 that you have a grounding of knowledge now, an understanding of your own practice, which allows you to kind of be, I suppose, adaptable now. I mean, is there another level to this? Where are you going next?
I don't know. I'd like to see more advertising and I'd like to see more packaging. The thing is, like, the only way I'd ever do that is by sort of doing some examples of packaging and more advertising.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to think my work can kind of be applied to anything because it's I've kind of designed it that way, and you know, it might not necessarily be the most serious of things, but can be applied to some more serious stuff. So, you know, I've done medical things and I've done stuff about you know, depression and things like that, and it kind of works in that world because it's not too silly that it kind of comes off as disrespectful or anything like that, but it's got that kind of sense that doesn't drag people down. It's not too sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of purposely push my work towards stuff that kind of apply to most things, and I kind of use different approaches and different things. So editorial work, I'll have a particular way of working, whereas you know, something for advertising, I might potentially push it a slightly different way, but it's all kind of grounded in the same area, I suppose.
It's really interesting. No, so the laptop's just making me sound like some sort of frightening troll. This is just feedback, I think. Okay, so you're talking about graft. In terms of your present practice, do you have general tips or advice for just keeping productive and keeping consistent?
Yeah, in general, you need to keep making work. That's kind of the simplest thing. Like, whether you've got jobs on or not, you need to be doing work and putting it out there and sharing it with the world, because you know, it's all about the self-promotion and stuff these days. Like, unless you're on Twitter, unless you're on Facebook or whatever. I mean, the only way I've got work is by doing my online stuff, really. Sending emails to people and doing new work and putting it up on Twitter and kind of saying, you know, this is what I'm doing, anyone want to give me money.
Yeah.
I forgot the question. I said I'd do this. So sorry. I was going.
That's fine,
What was
mate.
the question?
Just about keeping. Well, I tell you what. Just general good professional practice beyond image making, research, and concepts. I'm just thinking about the nuts and bolts of your day to day. What are the things that you've learned the hard way from being a professional illustrator that you think are really important?
Something that they don't tell you about is that to be an illustrator, image making is half of it, maybe a third of it. The whole kind of dealing with clients, getting paid, trying to get better money for stuff, the promotion side. Like, you've got to be a businessman, an artist, and a promotion, PR, so it is, public relations, or whatever, all in one. And as much as I'd love to just draw, unless I do the other stuff, no one pays me, and I can't get my work out there. So that's something that's kind of you've got to try and good at that other stuff. Like one thing I discovered fairly early on is to try and get a bit more money. Sometimes it's something that we've got £3 for this project. I'll say, have you got any more in the budget? Just can you squeeze a bit more out? And sometimes I manage to get like 500 for it, just by that simple question, and just stuff like that. Just trying to, trying to find a way without offending people to get as much money for the work as you do. At the end of the day, you've got to make a living from it so you can do it. So.
Yeah. Do you think people respect you more when you do start asking for more money?
To be honest, I don't think it's their company's money, and they're trying to get as good a deal as they can because they get it back if they say, I've got this idea for £10. But if they've got £1,000 budget and they spend £1,000, they're not going to get told off for it, and they're not going to disrespect you from it. And to be honest, if you ask for more money and they're offended by it, then you don't really want to be working with them anyway, because as long as you're being reasonable about the amount you're asking for, you deserve the respect. You deserve respect for your craft. You know what I mean? It's a skilled job, and you should be very good for it.
Absolutely. I want to. I'm just scrolling through your images. I think that the bolder, more simple compositions are just so striking. And we're looking at this football coach thing. What's this local living Washington Post? That's really lovely. But I can see what you mean about colour as well. It really seems like you're figuring out like some very kind of immediate, simple palettes. How do you form your choices for colour? Where does that come from?
It's a nightmare to work with. It's one of the things that takes me the longest because colour. The thing I discovered when I used to really struggle with colour. I'd be happy drawing something black and white, and as soon as I start to paint it, I can work out the right way to do it. Try painting it, whatever. As soon as I start going digital, it became easier. And the thing I noticed is that if you've got a red that you love, if you put that next to a brown, it will react a certain way. If you put it next to blue, it will react a different way. So as I add more colours to a piece, I often then thought that the colour I loved initially, I want to change.
Yeah.
So I end up with ridiculous amounts of layers. If I create a new layer, 752 is one that I put to do a new layer just because I constantly keep colours and do colour edits and
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. We're just losing you again, Owen. It's really annoying. I'm so sorry.
It's my fault.
I keep getting bits and pieces. It's driving me crazy. I tell you what, I mean, I feel like we've got loads of good stuff out of this chat anyway. What I'd like to do is, if the internet allows us, to just ask you one more question, and then I'll maybe open it to the floor. But my last question really was that notion of what makes a piece of illustration really, really great, in your opinion.
When someone's kind of pushing themselves, really, like, for me, some of the best illustrations I've done are things that in a million years I wouldn't have thought to get myself to do. something that's completely out of my comfort zone, or that's, learning about something completely different, or, if I like drawing trees, then someone's getting to draw buildings or whatever, just trying to explore the stuff that scares me. Often brings out some really interesting results.
That's a lovely answer. Yeah.
What's that, sorry?
That's a really great answer, thank you.
No worries.
Is there any more questions on the floor?
Sorry, there's a tendency, if you're doing the job every day and you're trying to get as much work done as possible, there's a tendency to try and be a bit lazy with it.
Yeah.
But I can't force myself to try and do as good a job with the jobs that are paying really well and the jobs that are paying very little. Trying to make sure that I'm keeping a really good quality throughout.
That consistency, yeah. And I think that's what comes through in your folio. It seems that even like your personal projects, there's been an ambition to everything you've done, which collectively starts to talk about professionalism at the highest standard, I guess.
Because you don't know who's going to see it. Think, that gig for my multi-million-pound job,
Yeah.
The stuff I've done. But I did some high labels for my uncle, and that had a couple of buildings, done a ridiculous amount of jobs in buildings in them, and I never used to I still don't like drawing buildings, but they've got money for it.
Right. Well, Zato, did you have a question?
What?
We've got a question, I think.
Do you have any special brush in Photoshop?
Somebody's asking you about your brushes in Photoshop. Do you have special brushes you work with?
No, I'm a bit old school with it all, to be honest. I use the Photoshop brushes they give me, and most of the time the texture of the stuff that I use is actually physical texture from something else that I scanned in. So I've got a bunch of these, I've got a bunch of textures which I've scanned from everything from briefcases to like messed up prints or whatever, and I just kind of apply them a lot of the time.
Okay, nice. And then are you using like the pencil to create shapes? Or is it all just, painted?
Yeah, just shapes. It used to be. I used to draw everything up in pencil, then go over it in pen, then just scan that in, then get rid of the pen. It was crazy. And then someone pointed out to me the shapes tool, and I wanted to kiss them because it was so useful. Yeah.
Okay, so shapes tool, that's the first port of call, I think.
Yeah, shapes tool's amazing.
Alright, any other questions? No? Okay, it's good. Well, Owen, I think we'll tie it up there.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
No worries.
Can we give? I'm just gonna get you a wave. Can we give Owen a quick wave?
I can't.
Can you see that, or is this like a metaphorical wave? Okay, well there it is.
Just want to know, some people are a bit about the questions in front of a really for the people. So if anyone wants to email me any questions, whatever, then I'm more than welcome to.
That's so kind of you, man. Thank you. Much appreciated. I think a few people will be getting in touch. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening and happy Tuesday. God bless, and we'll be in touch soon. Cheers, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry about the internet.
No worries. Can we all say bye? Bye.